I have found that relationships operate like a crucible for our growth in our faith. Relationships are where the rubber meets the road in terms of our obedience to God. Happy Friday, men. This is the first Men's Journey segment that will be provided for you, the men of Orchard Hill Church, in hopes to encourage you, in hopes to share stories of other men at the church, ways men are living out their faith. So I'll be probably doing interviews with different men here from Orchard Hill Church, updating you in terms of things that are going on around the church. And I'll be doing this about twice a month, basically. But wanted to be able to offer something more broadly than what hashtags has been. Some of you are familiar with that as well. I'll still provide those as well. But I wanted to do something that was more broad and that communicated the heart of the men here at Orchard Hill Church, because we have some amazing men here at Orchard Hill Church, and I think we can provide a lot of encouragement for each other as we're walking along this journey together. Which is always best to do it together and not in isolation. I have found that relationships operate like a crucible for our growth in our faith. That insinuates the fact that there's going to be heat, there's going to be sparks, there's going to be sometimes hard times. Kurt's message this last weekend on John 13, I thought was an incredible illustration of this, where he talked about the relationship between Jesus and Judas, and the fact that Jesus loved Judas, even knowing that Judas was going to betray him. We often share very encouraging stories of what happens in life groups and other Bible studies and groups. And that's true, it does happen. But sometimes relationships in many groups can be challenging. And part of the reason why is because relationships are where the rubber meets the road in terms of our obedience to God. So are we really going to love people the way we've experienced God's love in our hearts? Are we really going to treat others the way God has treated us? Are we really going to be forgiving? Are we really going to be gracious? That is where our faith is proven and purified. But it's not easy. It's scary. You see, it takes courage to step out of isolation, out of hiding, to admit our vulnerabilities and our weaknesses, and admit our dependence on God. But that is why the slogan of Men's Journey is a brotherhood of courageous men, because that is true courage, men, to be vulnerable and dependent on God together, which ultimately strengthens us. It's an amazing thing. I see it every single time, over and over and over again, as men step out and become vulnerable and connect with other guys. God grows them so exponentially more than they even thought themselves that they would grow. He provides in ways that are so unexpected. So quickly, I wanted to point out some things that are coming up. Number one, we've got our men's overnight, of course, which is happening the last weekend in October. And fellas, it is filling up. We are way ahead of where we've ever been in the past with the men's weekend. We've got more registrations now than we ever had at this time prior. So spots are filling, and there's actually concern, believe it or not, praise God, there's actually concern that we may have to turn some guys away. So if you have not registered yet, if you're thinking about it, man, get on it and do it as quickly as you can. This is going to be an incredible weekend at Oakleby Resort in Wheeling, West Virginia. And again, our senior pastor, Dr. Kurt Bjorklund, will be speaking to us, a keynote on Saturday. It's just going to be an incredible, I think, life-changing weekend. Also, remember, Men's Journey is continuing throughout the fall. Every Tuesday evening and Friday morning, it is an open men's group where we are journeying through the Bible, and as we journey together as men and allowing God's narrative really to wrap itself around us and begin to define us and help us gain perspective about where we fit into that narrative. Maybe you've heard of CLC, which stands for Christian Leadership Concepts. It's a men's 2-year study that meets weekly. an incredible way to build lifelong relationships with other men. Well, Men's Journey is a great prerequisite to that. So if you've heard about CLC, you want to get involved, shoot me an email back. Just reply to this email. Let me know. We'll put you in kind of a holding tank in a sense until the next group starts. But in the meantime, join us in Journey, which is accessible at any point in time. There's no need to catch up. You can just jump right in and continue on in the journey with us. If you are a single man over 40, there is a great fellowship here at Orchard Hill of single adults over 40, of course. And the ministry is called Mosaic, and they're doing a picnic coming up here very soon. And I would encourage you to come check that out. Lastly, men, we have Man Night coming up on Thursday, October 3rd. Keep an ear out or an eye out for another email or information on that. I'm still waiting for confirmation on the location, but it's going to be off-site somewhere where, guys, we can just go ahead and hang out, very casual, very laid back, and just spend some time together getting to know each other. You can also click the link below my signature in this email, the Meet Me link, which will allow you to set up a time to get together with me. I love getting together with guys, hearing your story, hearing what God is doing in your life, and helping you to take maybe the next steps or find ways to connect you. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you along the journey.